All right, just a quick mic test. I think I've got this sort of figured out. I'm so bad with this technology, but hopefully someone will jump in here real quick. Just a real quick mic check. I think I've got it figured out now. I don't know. Not a big technology guy. Okay. Yeah, I guess if I go to touch that microphone, the the one camera that I have set up now for the webcam um, is real. If I touch it, the picture goes away. So I got to fix that. But I went in and I'm having problems with my internet too. So okay, that was pretty much it. I know I got cut off yesterday, and I think that's what I did yesterday too. Is I went to say, hey, can you guys listen to this microphone? And as soon as I touched that cable coming from the webcam, everything went away. So, but it sounds good. The picture I know is okay. I think it's 1080. This is just an old camera. Um, I can't wait for you to get here, Mitch. That's going to be awesome. Um, I'm sure you're going to let everybody know when your when your house sells. Um, I know you're going to enjoy it here. There's, like I said before, what's not to enjoy? But yeah, I think so. Plus, I want to rap to you about some HVAC stuff. That's all right. Before, when I was younger, it wasn't really my for. Was I good at it? Yeah. Did I like it? No, I hated it. That's why when my son kept asking me for advice on stuff, I said, find something that you enjoy doing because you're going to probably be doing it for the rest of your life. So, which I think he did. I just, it was just so many hours. You know. Hey, Bill, how you doing? No, I don't. I don't. No, I can't say I think for sure that I got it. I know if I keep my hands away from the technology, it'll probably be okay. But yeah, I was just telling Mitch as soon as I touch it's the cable that's coming from this webcam that I've temporarily jerry rigged on the top of this laptop, and as soon as I touch that, it goes away. Yeah, you know, I told my brother, and he's doing really well. Residential, I said there was just certain things that were just too much. Ulcer City, people not showing up, and what I liked about residential, which we only did for the first 6 months that the business started, was I went there, worked, they gave me my money, I left. You know, none of this 30, 60, 90, 180 days, and then basically having to threaten people or, whatever you had to do to get your money and keep from going bankrupt was a nightmare. I just didn't like it. And the long hours, if I had $1 for every time a girlfriend or a wife back in the old days flushed my pager down the toilet at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be a millionaire. Um, but it wasn't. I it is what it is. I mean, I'm who I am, partially because of that, industry. But I just didn't enjoy it. If someone asked me for my advice now, is if you can make a living at something that you enjoy doing, do that. I don't. uh, but yeah, uh, it's a hard business, man. Hard business. Thai beef salad. 1 a.m. Wow. Yeah, I just jumped on. Wanted to get. I'm just gonna stick with this shotgun microphone. I'm gonna try to find a new USB cable for the temporary little webcam that I've got, and then I do have a a microphone, a USB microphone coming from Lasada. It's a cheap, I don't forget what it was, 500 baht or something. And we'll see what that sounds like. It's got a mic input on it, and it's got a adjustable deal and an echo or something. I just wanted to try it for what is that, $15. It was worth a try. But I think this little boy, a cheap shotgun microphone, sounds pretty good from what I've listened back, but I keep trying to get better and better because people say no one's really criticized per se, the sound or the video or anything. A little bit on, don't play music over this and don't, and they're just trying to help and give me input, which I appreciate. But I've just seen on other channels and other people talking about how to get better at YouTube, which is what I'm trying to do. They say, try to make your audio as good as possible and your video as good as possible. But I don't even know, like I only shoot on my 9. I'm capable of shooting 5K. But I heard that, most of the people I asked, well, a couple of the people I asked, shoot at 1080, I think 60. And that's what I shoot at. But I could be shooting at, 2.4K. That's what my little drone is, my mini. I could be shooting, I guess, better. But I hear on the other end that YouTube doesn't support 4K. So it's like, why, it just takes longer to upload. And I need a new laptop. I'm being such a cheap guy. I won't spend the 22,000 baht to get the one that I want. And it's basically a gaming laptop, but it's supposed to be really good at editing, because it is kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt editing. It's a little bit slow on this laptop, and it's just because it's old, but it works. So I'll get another cable for that. I'll try that other microphone, and for some reason too, frugal. Is that the word I was looking for? Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I listened to it back and it sounds good. But I'm not one of those, freaky tech guys that, they got, soundboards and shit and all sorts of stuff going on, trying to get the best they can. I just heard, and I understand, because I listened to and watched some videos that the sound is irritating, wind noise and stuff like that I dislike. But in fact, I was watching one of Badger's videos the other day when he was riding around, and I wrote him and told him that the sound was good. He got some kind of a sock to put over his GoPro, and the audio was very good. So I let him know that, because a couple of the ones that he had done were real. The wind noise was real bad. But of course, like I said, I invite anybody that wants to give me advice. Cheap screws. Yeah. It was a hard thing for me to do construction or installation. I know what it would take me to put it in, but when I had, 30, 40 jobs going and guys under me supposedly watching them and not watching them, and they come in at break even or lose money, it's like, what a waste of time and money, and that I had a couple of arguments with me and my buddy over that kind of stuff on, how much money do we really need to make. But service was nicer. It would have been nice to be able to just get paid. We had a lot of good accounts, so we didn't have to fight too much for money. But we had the same accounts for 20, 30 years, Yeah, it's so hard, when you got the ins, where a guy's telling you, you got 3 people around you that are at, 35,000 on a small little job or something, and you're at, 38, then go back and crunch the numbers and see if you can get to it. If you've got, most people have people like that, that you take care of with taking them golfing, or, it's just part of the game. But that was always nice knowing that. Going in blind on a lot of school jobs and stuff that we got, there was just, they'll take the lowest, crappiest company to do their work with, a lot of high-tech stuff, underground piping and, big pipe. And I don't know. I don't see how they've done it. I kept on saying, no, just, I don't want the job. I don't want the job. And he would say, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. So anyway, lost an extreme amount of money on that stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so hard unless you've got people, Mitch, that will give you that. You know, hey, you came in at 130,000. You could do the job for 175. Oh, really? So you can get the job at 180. Okay, I can do it for 180. Then I feel okay. But a lot of these ones where these guys are just bidding it for nothing, a day's wage. I can't compete with that. I couldn't back then, and we were non-union. But like I say, we were non-union in the sense if you were a service tech and making 49 union, you were making 48.50 non-union with us with 401ks and medical and everything. I mean, we took care of our guys. So it wasn't like a typical, non-union company. But they're out there and people think that they can do it. And it sounds just exactly like my buddy. And we've known each other since fifth grade, actually. But it's just hard. Service was so much nicer. And if I had to do it all over again, like I think I told you guys before, though my second wife, whatever it was that had my kids, I had, I was ready to retire, I think 36 or something like that, late 30s, or early 30s, and had a place, land bought up in Central California, Northern California, had plans for a house, strong, everything ready to go. I would have paid off everything. I was going to take one service truck with me, Dave's Air Conditioning. Call me up. Hey, if I don't answer, call Bill's Air Conditioning. He'll take care of you, and just coast through the rest of my life. And then I caught her cheating on me, and that blew that out of the water. But I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd do what my brother's doing. He can go in and make at least a couple 300,000 a year in the United States anyway. Not working hard at all, maybe having 4 guys working for you, maybe 5, with just strictly service. He does it strictly air installations. He's really good at the installations. I just would rather have service. And I know a bunch of buddies that are up above 200,000 a year, and they don't break a sweat. They got 3, 4, 5 guys working for them. Of course, the government keeps making it harder and harder to be a small business with all the stuff they put for what they want on, your workman's compensation insurances and all that. They just don't want, the small guy to exist anymore, I don't think. But I'm glad I'm retired. I'm sure you're going to be glad when you're retired and in Thailand, Mitch. If you're anything like me, it was great. It made me a great living. I regret to a certain point that I didn't go into something else, but the way my life and everything went, I don't regret it. I'll take it, but it is nice to be retired. And I retired early. Like I said, I think I was, and I want to say 52, something like that, 51, 52. I'm so bad. My mind's going. And now they're saying, I got a buddy, I think I told you the other day, saying that those shots that they're giving you, some of them are triggering Alzheimer's in people. So I don't need that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of stress, because I believe after watching my wife, with all the problems she had in her life, the stress from worrying about that stuff, the stuff that was affecting her, but stress of any kind, I think, screws with your body, gives you cancer, or gives you this or that. Because, now once I got settled here, and I want to say, you could say, well, you were in the hospital and you're supposed to be in a stress-free environment. Yeah, stress-free environment, except my wife of 30 years died. So I was mourning and depressed, and, and I just beat myself up, because you have a tendency to do that, or I did anyway. I'm getting better now. It's been 2.5 years, but it's like, oh, I could have been a better husband. I should have done this better. I should have done that better. I mean, I could beat myself up all day long, and I'm finally letting things go, knowing I did the best that I could, But I think that the stress thing, yeah, stress kills, you bet. And you get here, I guarantee you, your stress will go right out the window. It's just because if you have an income and you know what your budget's going to be to a certain extent, that what you can, you got to give yourself a little gap in there to have some good time and save a little and that kind of stuff. But if you're in that kind of position, I can't see it be any other place. They could say, oh, well, Vietnam's cheaper. And yeah, but I don't know. I'm not a big Vietnam person. I grew up in that era, you got to remember. So, it's it anybody that comes here that's in that good state of mind, I think you could put, God, 10 years on your life just by coming in. And so I know my blood pressure went down even with the depression and stuff. It still went down. Yeah, it's not easy to do, Mitch, man. I never thought I'd be telling anybody what to do in their life, but I can sure see it clear as day now that I've got to let things go. I can only do so much. When you're beating yourself up, you're always beating yourself up over the bad things that you think you did, and you're letting the good things that you did not even come into your mind. So if you let the good things creep in there a little bit, you go, yeah, I did that. Yeah, but I was a good caregiver. I took care of my wife and watched her die right before my eyes, man. And worst thing and hardest thing I ever did in my life. And but you never think about, I could have done this and coulda, woulda, shoulda, and you got to let it go. Got to let it go. But yeah, and Thailand, I think, is a good, nice, stress-free environment, and especially if you're still young enough to go out and have a good time and enjoy your life. And what I mean by that, not have, like me, both my knees need to be replaced and, a little better health than me. Meet somebody that you can enjoy being with. Because that was kind of in the beginning, like I said, I didn't really care. I wasn't really looking. I knew I wanted to be with somebody because I just didn't like being alone. I'd been with my wife for almost 30 years. And, I didn't want to be alone. But it wasn't necessarily a sexual, thing either. It was like just a female companionship. It's different when you're hanging around with your buddies and when you're talking to a lady, So, yeah, it's nice to be able to, hey, let's go in. And especially when it's not going to break you, when you can go away for a nice 3-4 day vacation in a 4-star hotel right now, what you can do in Thailand for 6,000 baht, $150, $200. I tried to keep mine. I think I've said it before. In fact, I know I have. When I first went to Phuket, I was scheduling 3 to 4 little mini vacations, 3-4 days, usually 3 each month. And I tried to keep those down around $250. That included my travel there, my food, the money I spent, the hotel, everything. And always stayed in 4-star plus hotels. And that was before what's going, the crap that's going on now. So it can be done and it's nice. And I was doing it alone. And it was okay because I needed to be alone at that time, I think. But once I met Nitnoy and the smile you see on someone's face, because in her case, you got to remember, she put every dime that she owned, that she made, into her mom, her dad, her children, everything. If she had to eat rice, that's what she ate, rice. So they never got to go anywhere. They never got to eat, decent meals all the time, or eat whatever they want when they wanted. They just didn't have that option, which they have now. But just that smile, to go somewhere, just of almost non-belief that I get to do this every once in a while, not just once every 30 years, so it makes me feel good, that they enjoy themselves, so if you meet, I guess what I'm saying, if you meet somebody that you at least get along with and you can go and have a good time with, it makes all the difference in the world. I'm sure everybody kind of knows that. Let's see, what am I missing? Yeah. I, I was always looking for it. I also be, yeah, I agree. Yeah. You gave up the stress coming up on 5 years since wife. Yeah. 4 years since my dad died. Yeah. He had a bad streak there at age 76, which I think is still young. Yeah. I just look back and I look at my son now, who I consider to be an awesome father, an awesome husband. And I look at me and I wasn't that great. I wasn't that great of a father. I wasn't that great of a husband my whole life. Towards the end, the last 4 or 5 years, yes, I had changed my life around. Beginning, nah, I cared about only me, didn't care about anything else. But when I lost her, I didn't realize how much that I loved her. Like they always say, you don't realize stuff until it's gone. It's true. No matter, even if I was said, I said I loved her, but never realized how much effect it would have on me even 2.5 years later. It just, I came to about a year and a half in, I came to the assumption that I'm always going to grieve her, always, never going to go away. What I can do is handle it better. Um, don't beat up myself so much and cherish the times and the good times that we had together. And that has helped me. And that's what will help me until the day I die. But it's hard. It's hard, man. It's any real close. I lost my uncles, um, and they went way too young. But my mom's 80, 88, 88, and she's starting to get the little, here and there stuff. So, but I haven't really lost. And the closest person that I lost, which to me was real different, because if you've been with somebody for 30, 40 years, um, every day, even when you were raised by your mom and dad, I was out of the house when I was 16, so, was I close to my mother? Somewhat. But once I got out of the house, I was, I hit the ground running. I was working 16, had a place to live, rented it through a friend of a friend type stuff. And never really looked back. And do I love my mother? Of course, but it's something about that spouse, that person you see every day. That's why it doesn't amaze me at all when somebody says, "Oh, my grandmother died at 89 years old, and she was married for 65 years, and my grandfather went 2 months later. We think it was of a broken heart." Well, hell yeah, it was of a broken heart. You just can't be with somebody that long, and one second they're here, and the next second they're gone. Can't ever to them again. Can't ever see them again. They're gone. Me at 30 years was devastating. At double that, I, I couldn't even imagine. But I had a buddy that had a grandmother and grandfather like that. They went I think 3 or 4 months apart, and basically he died, and then she just died of a broken heart. Let's see. Pops is 88, mom's 84. They broke their hearts. Buy them a brand new computer, or get some kind of a deal where you can put them on a big screen and, FaceTime them 10 times a week. It is, it would be too, but I'm a little bit on the self side, Mitch. Always have been my life. I try to look at it now that I've gotten better, which I have, but it's just, you got to enjoy at least a little bit, especially with same thing like with you. I'm sure you busted your butt since you were young, working 5, 6, especially if you were in HVAC most of your life, sometimes 7 days a week during the summers. But, hopefully they understand. Hopefully they're not too heartbroken. And hopefully you have enough money to where you can do maybe what I had said before. My plan is every 3 or 4 months flying back for 2 or 3 weeks. And hopefully that'll be good enough for them. Yeah, I bet it has, Bill. I don't know. I almost touched that stuff over there. I better get it out. Yeah, my wife, she was really religious. I was brought up Catholic. My mom still goes to, well, not so much now because of all the crap, but every day, every morning, 5:30, she gets up, goes to the first mass every day, Catholic. And my wife was Christian, and she really got into church. I didn't. Um, but the thing that I could see is she is my hero. She never, she died with such dignity. I only hope that I can even die with a tenth of the dignity that she died with. I think she had one tear that came out of her eye the 5 days before she died that we really found out that she was going to die. And she was more worried about me, after she was gone, how I was going to handle things than she was about dying. Just a awesome person. And but and I think because I asked her two questions once we found out about 10 times a day up until 5 days later when she passed, or 4 days later. Um, are you in any pain? Nope. I said, are you scared? Nope. I couldn't even get the whole word scared out of my mouth. She goes, I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm not scared at all. I said, okay, all right, good. Helps me because it would have been just awful. I mean, it was awful anyway, but it would have been even worse if she was just sitting there crying, oh my God, I'm going to die. And, I would have just probably shot myself. And she was more worried about me than anything. And that made it worse for me going, yeah, you were an idiot most of your life. But I'm glad that helps you, and got to be hanging around with other vets have got to be, has got to be good for you. Yeah, I bet it did, Mitch. 17. You're just about like me. Yeah. I don't know if I tell you guys the story. I had a little wiener dog. Ever since I was with my wife that passed, from the very beginning, we had miniature doxies. And the last ones lived to be, Dixie was my dog, a little chocolate and tan miniature doxie, which I thought I'd never like a little dog. And that's all I had the last part of my life, or, towards the end of her life. And 20 years she lived, and the male lived 18 years. And I told the people at work, when she goes, I am opting my option, because I was union then, building engineer. I said, I am going to take the, whatever it was, 2 weeks grievance pay when my dog goes, because I ain't going to be able to work. Well, as it turned out, they were really, the people that I worked for were unbelievable. That part I enjoyed. I enjoyed that building engineer. It was under 100,000 square feet. I was the chief engineer. I had no other engineers there. They let me sub out anything I wanted, electrical, plumbing, anything that I wanted. I said I couldn't do. They just said, just get somebody to do it, because they were in love with my air conditioning skills. I got in the building and punched out everything in that building before they even moved in with the the HVAC contractor hated me, and the mechanical engineer hated me. They had the ceilings in when I got there, and they didn't put in all the sensors, uh, supply air sensors, which is the way that I was planning on testing all my hot water heating coils right from my office on my computer. Just stroke them open, watch the temperature go up. Okay, everything's working on that. Do that every 3-4 months. And so they had to climb back up in the attic and put the supply air sensors in that whole building. It was 3 stories, right at 100,000 square feet. But they loved my air conditioning thing. Doctors and air conditioning. That was our big forte when we were going. We did a lot of hospitals. We had the only hospital in Southern California, in the San Fernando Valley, that didn't go to the ground in the Northridge earthquake. And I had 50 guys there for almost 3 years, and we rebuilt the whole hospital. Well, everybody from the ground up, while they were still doing everything in there, including surgeries. So the hospital work, I mean, I knew how to handle doctors and stuff. They're just a whole different breed. But the So that's what I had. I was in it was in a UCSF teaching facility in Fresno, state of the art, 3-story structural glass building. Awesome. The guy hadn't designed. This is mostly for HVAC people. He didn't design the two chillers in there to be capable of one carrying the whole building. But after I redesigned the piping layout, they didn't have the piping layout right, and that's why the mechanical engineer didn't like me too much. But after that, I could run that whole building, and it would get 104, 108 in Fresno, and I could hold that whole building with one chiller, which came in awfully handy when you were, servicing the other one or one went down. So they loved me for that. I could be anywhere on vacation. Everything was on my laptop. A doctor could call me and say, "Can you make it 2 degrees colder in my office?" Boom, boom. Yep, you're set. So it was kind of nice. So I enjoyed that last 8 years. Was nice. Hey, Grinch, how you doing? Seven watching. Oh, 7 thumbs up. Wow, that's good. Thanks, guys. Wow, we got 8 now. This was just supposed to be a mic check. Every time I do a some kind of a check, I end up being on for an hour. But I guess I need the times. I still, like I said, I still haven't quite figured out what this monetization does for me. But I guess I want to do it only because it's there. I don't know. Well, I'm sure everybody's going to say hello. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when you get here, Mitch. We're definitely going to have to hang and rap about HVAC days. Like I said, I didn't really like it. Probably the most favorite thing that I liked working on besides the big stuff, the big screws and stuff like that, was cascade systems, which they had a lot of in the pharmacies in the valley, and ice machines. Ice machines really throw people for a loop, and I just had some kind of a strange deal with ice machines. I could do it because it was always bad. I don't know if people are watching that don't really know, but when you're paying somebody, back then, even a long time ago, $50, $60, $70 an hour to sit there and you're watching them, you got to watch it go through a cycle. Back then that would maybe take 20 minutes, 25 minutes just to see if all your settings were right. And when somebody's there laying out, $50, $60 an hour, they get a little cranky when they just see it. So I just used to clean the ice machine and make myself look, there's no reason why not clean it. You're there. So I do that kind of stuff. But I did enjoy that. It made you think, made me fire a few electrodes in my brain that are probably gone now. But hey, TT, how you doing, man? But anyway, well, anybody want to talk about who's in Thailand now? Anybody? I know, Mitch, you're in Seattle. I know, Bill, you're not here, right? You like the chat? Cool. Yeah, me too. I'm bored. I mean, why not? Yeah, I'm doing great. I got. You're busy now, Mitch. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys have got something, I was just asking that because they put all these restrictions and stuff in now. If you get caught, if you go out, you've got to wear your mask. You got to wear your mask while you're driving in the truck. You can't take it off. Once you leave the house, it's got to be on. And if not, they give you up to a 20,000 baht fine. And now I think they're going to start locking stuff down. If not today, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Bill's in PA. Best to be busy. Yeah. The busier you stay, the quicker you'll be in Thailand. At least that's the way it was with me. The busier I always was, time just went by. If I wasn't doing anything, it just like crawled. That's why I got to find, the YouTube stuff is fine, but I mean, I can only do, so many live streams a day until people just don't want to look at me anymore. Back in corporate traveling days, used to the ice machines were from Uniflow, Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay. Currently live. Cool. And what are your plans coming here, Bill? Yeah, we did a bunch of most of our stuff was Scotsman um, ice machines, the big ones, uh, and then there was Isomatic. What was there? My mind's gonna go blank. I'm trying to think of some of the old ones, which are probably older than most of the people that are on the channel. November, cool. And where are you gonna come? How long are you gonna stay? Come move for good, or just come for a stint? Pennsylvania, man. I don't see how you could. I helped the guy, one of my good friends, open a right before I found out that my wife had cancer. I was spending 3 weeks in Buffalo, New York, and then a week back home, and I was helping him out open his an air conditioning company there, and a heater, which I kind of liked actually because they had some big giant boilers that we weren't really too used to unless you worked in hospitals, which I did in California. But the stuff they had in Buffalo was just it was great. I really enjoyed it. It was new to me, so it was something exciting because I was already retired. I was just doing it for him, and then once I found out my wife was sick, of course I left. He had gotten me an apartment, brand new apartment on the top floor overlooking the river. I mean, it was gorgeous, but the weather, man, I don't see how. Growing up in Southern California, we didn't experience the kind of crap that you've got to experience in Erie and across most of the country, actually. Correct. 3 months. My friends who married my late wife's niece. Oh, cool. Okay. So you're going to come for 3 months and then go back in preparation to move permanently, or just every so often you're going to come for 3 months? Yeah, no kidding, right, Mitch? I mean, Seattle. When I was up in Seattle, I kind of told you the other day with the concrete trucks and the constant drizzle, but they got a little bit of the winter time. But see, you got to remember too. I was a big motorcycle guy, man. I was in California. I couldn't have been in any better place. I mean, I was riding 365 a year. I hit a little rain. Yeah, no big deal. But you're in some place like Pennsylvania or some. Man, I don't even know what the motorcycle season is. Probably a month and a half or something. The summers. Yeah, Seattle is modern. Depends, huh, Bill? Cool. I guess yeah, go with the flow if you can do it. Like people ask me, and I put in my videos and everything. Don't put off what you can do today to tomorrow. Do it now, now, now. If you can do it, go. Because if one thing that 2 years ago or year and a half ago that almost dying opened my eyes to dying, because I thought pretty much after I made it past the 35, 40-year mark, I figured I was invincible. Being knocked down like that put a whole new look on life in me. We're just so fragile. You just don't realize it. I've gotten older. I couldn't take doing half the stuff I did when I was younger. Fighting and drinking and just nasty stuff. I couldn't even do it. I'd fall down and break a hip. That you hear about old people doing all the time. It probably happened to me. Tolls, oh, the toll roads. Is that what you're saying, TT? Real popular. Okay, so toll roads. They were popular. I never experienced them, being in Southern California, but I did when I was in Buffalo. They had toll roads. My buddy just got me a little thing. I sat up on the dash, and he paid it once a month as I went around. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Is it a good way to make money besides taxing people? I don't know. All I know is California was the worst in the world. If I could have if I knew what I knew now, I would have never even started in there. I would have moved out at 16 and went to another state, probably Arizona or something. But it's just unbelievable the way they tax and run, businesses out of California by just taxing them to death. 40 billion in debt. My state. Still the worst. You know what it was for me. I don't know it. I just, when I'm on the road, it's kind of the same thing. I hate stopping for gas. I hate stopping for anything. I hate stopping because my wife has to go to the bathroom. I hate stopping because I have to go to the bathroom. When I get on the road, whether it be going job to job or on vacation, I want to get to where I'm going and be done with it. But so the toll deals were kind of a pain for me in New York because I had to stop. And do I have the money? And that's why he got me the deal to go up on the dash. I guess I bitched good enough to where he said he didn't want to listen to me bitch anymore. Mileage tax, huh? For the electric cars. Yeah, it's really weird because I don't know if I told you guys this. When I'm on Social Security disability due to my knees, my back, my everything, my heart, everything. But when I retired, when I stopped working, I had a policy that I paid for. It's kind of like an Aflac policy, which I paid $99 and I could get $4,000 worth of coverage a month. And what they did was, as soon as I got hurt or stopped working, they got me my Social Security disability because the way that it worked, that 4,000 was a total figure. The 2,000, let's say you got 2,000 from that they sent me to a special company that all they did was get people Social Security disability. They sent me so let's say you were getting 2,000 once you got Social Security disability. That means they only had to pay me 2,000. It equals 4,000. So, which was fine. I didn't care. That runs out in, I think, 3 or 4 years. But I still haven't collected my in 8 years doing engineering for a union. For the union, I'm going to get like almost $2,000 a month for only working for them for 8 years. They were putting all sorts of money in my retirement. So I got lucky on that. I collect that when I turn 65, which will be December 22nd this year. So they said I can start applying for it and getting all my paperwork together in October, and then it'll start on the first of the year. And I haven't asked them, the other company, whether that's considered income and they cut back my other, I don't know. But if I still get the money that I'm getting, I got more than enough money to retire. But it was kind of so I have enough that covers me, which makes it nice. I'm gonna go. I got to fill out the paperwork so that Nitnoy, I have to take a reduced deal, which I don't care about, and then due to her age or whatever the age of your wife is, you have to be married at least a year. Doesn't matter whether they are they accept Thailand marriage licenses. I just have to get it translated into English and give it to them, being my union or the union and the pension fund company or whatever they are. And then when I die, she gets a reduced rate, which is over 2 times what she's making with the government. And then I can sleep forever knowing that her family and my family here in Thailand is taken care of forever, at least until she dies. Then it'll be her kids' deal. But let's see. Did I go on a tangent again? No toll roads in Pennsylvania. They're taxing the heck out of us. Yeah. With the electric cars. Yeah, I don't know. Have I always been a patriot? Yeah, you bet. And I mean, I bleed red, white, and blue, but I'm in Thailand now. I live in Thailand. Will I ever, go against the United States or say that's not my country? Never going to happen. Can I accept it as a second country? Thailand? Yeah, you bet. And I do anything to help the people here, But it's just like I say before, if you can afford to come, if you can get by with, missing like Mitch's mom and dad, and I don't know if you have kids or grandkids or whatever, and you can get past that, uh, I would say do it, man. Because like I said, I think I started this rant on not knowing how fragile we really are. I mean, I could step off the curb going to get a soda, and I'm gone. I get hit by a car, I'm done. You know, so it doesn't take much to end. I just say you better enjoy the crap out of your life, because it isn't. I'm not getting. I'm 64. I know I think I'm older than pretty much everybody here, but it doesn't take much. Just no star stripes. Yeah, it's I mean, it. I'm disappointed. I can't say that I'm pissed off completely. It's just disappointed in the United States. I don't care who's president. It doesn't really matter to me. Just do the right thing. You know, take care of the people you say you're going to take care of. Um, just go about things the right way. And I just don't think they are. And I don't care who. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me who it is. I'm not a big political guy anyway, because for most of my life I was a felon, and I couldn't vote anyway. So I figured I was a hypocrite if I even talked politics with anybody. And I never really wanted to talk politics. Just a bad subject, like talking religion or stuff with somebody. Somebody's going to have it the way they want it, and that's fine. But with what I see that's happening to the country, it's like, just do the right thing. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't say you're going to do it. I think a lot of it, although they are going to revamp the Social Security system, that's great. He talked about that his whole, while he was trying to become president. But now he sort of forgot about it. And now they're mentioning and bringing it up again, and supposedly this is all hearsay, some kind of fifth wave of the recovery deal is supposed to be in there. Because I mean, I make enough money on my Social Security, but I know a couple people, one of them here in Thailand, that doesn't even make enough money on his Social Security to be able to stay here. He can stay here if he's married and only have to come up showing 400,000. But and my mom, I mean, she worked all her life, and what is I think I want to say it's either 900 or 1,000, maybe $1,200. It's just ridiculous. And then when I first got it, like I said, I had other incomes and other stuff, so it didn't affect me as it would some people. But it's like, you're telling me last year I went and it cost me $20, or let's say $10, to buy a dozen eggs and 2 gallons of milk. Okay. And this year it cost me $25 to buy that same amount. And my Social Security went up $11, $11 a month. Come on. So now they say they're going to tie it to inflation instead of COLA. But it's been that way the whole time. Ever since I got it, me and my wife would always laugh. Between us both, we made, like $15 a month, more. But yeah, just doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they revamp that, because there's a lot of elderly people that, are pretty much on their own. That's what I think I like about Thailand too. That their elderly people are very precious to them. My wife, like I said, she will go without eating as long as her mom and dad are taken care of and eat. And I don't even know, do they have old age homes in Thailand? I know they got a shitload of them in the United States, because people get to a certain point and go, okay, we'll see you later. We'll come by, once a week, once a month, and stick our head in the door and wave at you and say, God, you look good, and go on our way. Daughter 27, son 23. Oh, you brought them to Thailand. Cool. You were 8 and 4. They're excited to come visit. Awesome. Mine are, I think I'm horrible again. I'll probably get beat up by my children. My daughter, I think, is 32, and my son's 30. and my son has uh, four children. And the one, like I said, was born in February of not this year, last year, when I was in a coma or whatever I was in. So I've seen her on FaceTimes, but have not met her yet. So I'm looking forward to get home on that. Oh, back now? Good. Yeah, I'm going to ask my wife if she can bring home what I'd like to do, and what I'm going to do at the new house is wire in a hard line to my laptop just for live streaming. And because I'm supposed to have the top of the line internet, top of the line. I just bought a new router, all that stuff, and they just can't seem to get it right. And it's her company, so she really jumps on me when I rag on TOT. Good, I'm glad I'm back. Yeah, and if you can afford to do it, I would think go ahead and take it at 62. I haven't really known it because I'm on Social Security disability. So I think when I turn, it's either 65 or 67, they're going to take me off of disability and put me on regular Social Security. I think. I don't know for sure, but I would take getting money as soon as I can. It all depends on the situation you're in. But like I say, if you're in the right state of mind, you've got a thing for budgeting, which I didn't really have. I had to learn, and I've learned in the last 2 years. Still not very good at it. 2.5 years. Still not very good at it. But if you're good at it, you'll be fine. So knowing what you have, and once you get here and say, okay, I'm going to start out in Pattaya, and I'm going to take a look around and check everything and see where I want to go. And okay, I really like this place, and then you can find the deals, because right now, I mean, you could get a 1-bedroom apartment here in Surin for, I bet, at 4,000 baht, $120, $150 with air conditioning, but if you want to be in Phuket and you want to see the ocean, and then you're talking about a little bit more. Now, right before all this crap happened and I was in Kamala, I had given up a house to come to Surin to be with my wife now, to be with Nitnoy. It was 18,000 baht. It was way back inland, but it was up high, and I had a view of the ocean, all glass front, very spacious 1-bedroom condo, and it was 18,000, I think. So it all depends on what you want to spend. I would say now you probably get that same place for 10,000. I wanted to. My wife talked me out of it, but I wanted to get a place in either Rayong or in Hua Hin or in Pachuap Kurikan, 3 places that I think I'd like to go, because I'm an ocean guy, but I got to be where my wife's at. But I had a 1-bedroom, 1 block from the beach in Hua Hin for, I think it was 10,000 baht. So I was just going to rent it and then go there whenever I wanted to. If I went there 2 days a month, I went there 2 days a month. If I went there for a week, a month, I went there. But she talked me out of it. She said, I want to build a house. I said, oh, man, okay. So there's Bob. They switched you at 65. So maybe they're going to switch me too. I turned 65 in December, so we'll find out. Let's see. Yes, they have old age homes in Thailand. They do. Okay. A lot of Americans are going to Thailand because people working on the homes in America are beating the shit up. You're right, Grinch. And now that you said that, when I was in, what was it, Railway? At the end of Phuket, very end, I went to a hotel down there. And while I was down there, I got some paperwork. And what it was a senior citizens whole complex. And they had nurses and doctors on staff. They fed you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and blah, 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 blah. And then they had this price, and the prices were very reasonable. So, yeah, probably a good option. Then I forgot completely about that. But yeah, they had people there. They came in every morning. The nurses would come in and take your blood pressure. They had a whole thing I read on what they did. But yeah, it'd be a good option. Yeah, I don't know why these sick bastards, that I don't know. I lose my mind here thinking about somebody beating up, like somebody that's retarded or somebody that's old, or makes you feel like a man, come on, come and visit me. You know where I'm at in Thailand. I'll leave a link in the thing. If you have to beat up old people, come and try me. I got one good one left in me. And $4 a month. Medicare with a fight. Ain't that the truth, Bill? Ain't that the truth? Oh, oh, not take. They will not take you off of disability. They will just switch to SSI and pay the same. Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out. It's not that far away. December 22nd. Everybody remember that in case you want to, say hello to me or happy birthday. I'll be fine. I will surround myself with some. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're my friend, you've always got a place to come. Points in missing my kids. Yeah, that's the hard part, man. Everybody that I talk to, when you're missing your family, if you can get by that, like I said, me personally, I have enough to where I can, unless the airfare goes astronomical, but I was getting airfare and it's coming back down again, 400 or 500 round trip. And that's where it's at now. I checked one in December or January, just day before yesterday. If it's in that range, I can afford to fly home for our home to the United States and take 3 weeks, take 4 or 5 months here. The end of about 3-4 months, I find myself thinking about my kids, thinking about my mother, my family, my friends, how nice it would be even 1 or 2 days to hang out with my friends. Because I've got friends that I still stay in contact with and talk to 3, 4, 5, 6 times a month that I've had since 5th grade. So, to hang out with them and, eat a good meal and, talk and bullshit for, whatever, it would be nice. And that got me over my jonesing part. When I did that, when I came back to Thailand, I was nice and fresh and okay. And then 1 month, I'm still okay. 2 months. And then, you get the FaceTime with the kids and this and that. And 3 months. And it's kind of nice to see them up close. Anything after 3-4 months, I think, if you go back and spend a couple of weeks, I think you'll be fine. I think most people would be fine. And like I said, I'm a little bit on the selfish side, so it's a little bit easier for me. Same money, it's different government funds. Okay, I see. Ah, really? Hey, Bill. Okay, I'll remember that. Yeah. So the best friend that I was doing the air conditioning with when we were growing up, he was born on Christmas Day. He's since passed away. He passed away way too early. I think I told you guys that story. He was a drinker. But I think he was 56, 55 or 56, way too young. But I'll remember your birthday now, Bill. If I forget, it's just Alzheimer's. Just think about that. If I get Alzheimer's, you guys are going to have to remind me, say, Dave, you just did a live stream and said all this shit yesterday. And I'll go, okay. And then when I do it again the next day, you'll have to say the same. So, insomnia. Yeah, I am too. Mine is caused by I have a severe case of apnea, and I don't use the machine. And I've always had weird sleeping habits. I like the other night, I woke up at 2:00 in the morning. I slept for 3-4 hours. I went to sleep or whatever, and I watched TV all the way up until I had my cup of coffee at 5:00. But that's what was good about retiring is one of the things why I quit or why I got out and said, okay, I'm done working, is I woke up on the wrong side of the road driving home at 2:30 in the afternoon because I didn't sleep, And so I said, okay, that's it. That's it. So I came back the next day. I went and I talked to him. I said, listen, I'm going to find you somebody else, blah, blah, blah. And I sort of retired. I went out on the disability and stuff. So, but it was, it made life a little bit easier because I didn't feel so tired, because when I woke up at 6, I always woke up early, 5-6 o'clock in the morning, whether I slept 2 hours or 7 hours. If I was tired, I still had to get up and go to work. You know, it was never entered my mind that, oh, you're too tired to go to work. Shut up, man up, get out of bed and get your ass to work. But you know, it was like, it was so nice to go, you know what? I think I'm going to take a nap and then go back to sleep at 7, 8 o'clock, wake up at about 10, have another cup of coffee and off on my day. You know, I was retired, so I could do whatever I wanted. So I would say it made my quality of life a lot better being retired, because I wasn't tired all the time. I could sleep when I wanted to. It just made life easier for me. You're on the other side. It is for me. Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, I want to, once we get, you know, 2, 3, 4 people here, or I don't care. Once you're here, if you want to take off and go to you know, 4 or 5 days in Rayong, I'm all for it. I'll meet you there. I'll do whatever. But I think it would be nice when everybody gets here. Sue, you know, all these people that I've met, everybody in the room now that's going to come, you know, to all meet up for even a long weekend. You know, a couple, 3 days would be awesome. You know, I'm looking forward to it, no doubt. Plus, I don't know that many people here. Bob, who's in Udon, which I can't even really go to. When we were in Phuket and Kamala, I saw him every day. It was great. But here I don't really have anybody. Everybody in my family, you know, my wife's the only one that speaks about this much English. And obviously I'm not completely fluent in Thai, which I need to be. I said it before, you know, if a Thai person moved next to me in the United States and the poor guy didn't speak English, I would never let him live it down. So I feel like a hypocrite coming to Thailand and not learning their language. It's just, I have to. I'm so bad at any kind of rigid schooling, or, you know, I should try learning off the internet. Probably be the best. Yeah, I think it will be. It's going to be fun. A lot of good people, man, that I've met, and mainly everybody that's in here now, or most everybody, came from teachers or, you know, somebody's channel, which makes it nice, because I've been watching that for a while, so I kind of knew everybody all along. And he still punches my channel and everything. You know, this Gotta Love Thailand has a channel. Go see, you know, still, you know, he's a great guy. Can't wait to meet him either. I was really looking forward to doing that the 11th, and that kind of got put aside, but it'll happen. You know, this is going to be over. Like I said, I think it's going to be when they're talking about, at least here in Thailand. See, my biggest worry too, Mitch, is if I take off and go back to the United States, I got to be more than 100% absolutely positive that I'm going to be able to get back into Thailand, because I'm not leaving my wife and going to the U.S. So they do have supposedly a vaccination passport, but I heard there's only like 6 people in the whole country of Thailand that can sign them. And once you have those, they're gonna let you, you know, pretty much come in and out. We're gonna have to do a queue, I don't know, but as long as I had it in my mind that I know that I'm gonna get back in, I would probably do it. 14 days, just besides the expense. I mean, the money that I'm probably going to spend for a 14-day queue, I could make 2 or 3 trips to the U.S. Over the next year. You know, so you know, I try to be at least halfway responsible with the money that I have, and not, you know, spend it uselessly. But so that's what I'm hoping for. But I think it's going to be. I think once they get, I saw on something today, the lines on Koh Samui, I think, lines to get jabbed. So I think it's starting to get in here. Once more and more people, you know, get it here in Thailand, that it'll open up. Supposedly, I mean, I still haven't heard an absolutely no on Phuket on their deal for, I think it was May or something, April, May, June, I can't remember, where they were going to, you know, reach over the threshold of 80% being vaccinated in Phuket and they were going to let people come into Phuket, and I'm talking about people coming for vacation. But I feel sorry for the people that really can't come. I know a couple of people that waited and waited and waited, and one I met, I forget the name. He has a YouTube channel too, the Guru or something like that, and he's here in Surin. And I talked to him a little bit right before he came in for his queue. And I think that he had been away for 6 or 8 months trying to get back. He has a Thai wife and I don't know if it's a wife, maybe a wife, and like a 5 or 6 year old son. So, I feel my heart goes out for that, having to the people that can't get here. But yeah, the Naked Guru. Yeah. And I watched, he seemed like a really nice guy. He answered me and I talked to him a little bit. I don't talk to him too much anymore. But when he was in his queue, we texted back and forth a little bit. Seemed like a real nice guy. I guess he's getting ready to build a home also on a, hey teacher, how you doing, man? I was just talking about you. Your ears burning or something or what? But yeah, I think he's building a Thai style house on his wife's family's land. His family. He's married. I'm almost positive. But yeah, your ears should be burning. I was saying what a good guy you are and how you always push my channel. And this was only supposed to be a test, but again, it's been over an hour and I'm just rambling about everything and anything. Mostly about everybody coming here and getting together. But yeah, I don't know. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? I've been rambling for so long. I don't, like I said, I don't know too much. Teacher probably knows more than I know about a lot of the stuff that's going on. But I know that here, $20,000 fine if don't have a mask on after you step out of the house. That includes in the truck. That includes everywhere. As soon as you leave this house, you got to have a mask on. So, and I think they're going to, and I don't know this for sure either, but I think they're going to lock things down. My ears are burning. No, I haven't heard what's going on in India. Is that the one where they had like 1 million cases in one day or something? I heard something about them having mass deal. But yeah, I think they need to lock everything down. Just my personal opinion. Do I want to be locked down for 2 weeks? No. Do I think that the 50 or 60 cases that they have here in Surin will be gone in 14 days if they lock down today? Yes, they'll be gone. They did it before. They locked down. We never had a case in Surin. I think that's the same problem that they had last time. They had everybody leaving Bangkok. They didn't lock Bangkok down. And I don't blame the people. They're Thai people. They want to get home. They came home. They were sick, and they infected a bunch of people. It's the same thing for Songkran. They should have just shut down. This is my personal opinion. The Thai government obviously knows better than 90% of the world because what do they got? Still 100 cases or 100 people that have passed away out of whatever we figured the other day, millions of people here. And probably 3/4 of them were sick before, So I just think that if they just got to do it. I just think they got to do it. Biggest enemy. Is that really it? 200K. I heard something about that. The biggest thing here that kind of scares me the most is right now I have my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and 2 kids and me and my wife in her home. And actually, as of yesterday, I have her aunt here too. My wife works for TOT. She's still going to work, even though the government says that, if you can work from home, work from home. I'm trying to tell her, please try to work from home. Don't think it's going to happen. They threatened to do it last time and they didn't. But if somebody comes in there from out in the field and gets sick and they infect her, she's going to come home and her 75-year-old dad's going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. Her 65-year-old mom's going to get sick. The kids are going to get sick. what's the chances of the three elderly dying? Probably one of us. I don't know. But what I do know is that once, if I go out, like let's say right now I broke my arm or I hurt my arm. If I went to the hospital and they tested me and I had a fever and they gave me a test and I tested positive for it, I would go to a field hospital. My wife said they were just there because they installed internet in a field hospital for all the people that are there. No air conditioning. I said, well, if I go to a field hospital, I'll die. If I don't have air conditioning, I can't breathe correctly and I'll psych myself out. But the only good thing about that is if they stick a tube in my mouth, I would go to a hospital. But otherwise, if you get diagnosed with it out in the field, it doesn't matter whether you're a Farang, Thai person, whatever it is, you're going to a field hospital. Unless you need a tube, you're going to go to a field hospital. So yeah, I don't know either. How do you get 200,000 cases in a day? And I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me either, teacher. And like I said, it doesn't make a bunch of sense to me why all these people are dying all over the world, and yet in Thailand, out of the 30 million or whatever that are here, there was under 100 that had passed away, and we don't know, but I'm guaranteed that 80% of them were above 65 and had probably breathing issues or diabetes or something underlying conditions. So, I mean, more people than that die stepping off the curb in Bangkok. So I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. I wish it was over, especially for people like you, teacher. I mean, you make you and your wife, or your wife mostly has the open mic, you two, I guess. And stop work, don't stop work, can't serve this, can't serve that. You're lucky because you have the restaurant, you have the ability to enough of the area in there to do the social distancing, but I know that you're going to lose some business, and that just sucks. Like I said, I know everybody's going to hate it and whatever, but I think they need to lock it down like they did before. It worked in the past. What is this? Yobo Joe? What is that? Is that Joe's chin? Or Joe? Is he here? Oh, you are here. How you doing, Joe? I didn't see you. Bad eyesight. Although I did get these glasses, not as much reflection also, right? Not as bad as those other ones. And the sound's still okay and the video is still okay. I dare not touch the microphone again. It'll just go away in case anybody wants to still talk about anything. But I don't know. Like I said, my personal opinion, if they lock stuff down for 14 days, I can guarantee you that the 50 cases in Surin will be over, and there won't be any cases in Surin. I'm sure it'll be the same way with other provinces. The problem that they had before, it worked perfectly until they had people coming across the border and injecting themselves into Thailand and infecting people. What was it, Myanmar? But up until that point, everybody here was traveling inside Thailand. All the restaurants opened, the movie theaters opened, you could go to the gym, everything opened up and everything was going great, and then all of a sudden now things spiked again. And I don't know why. I mean, I hear 30 different things on why. Is that where it came from? Bangkok nightclubs. House is going good. I just was over there this morning, Joe, and they're changing crews. The little blue huts that they have there, the concrete people basically have vacated, and the roof structure, brick people, and that kind of stuff are moving in this morning. My cousin with the wall is pretty much done with the left side now, so both sides are done in the back. He's just not going to put any slats in this side so that they can load block and stuff on. Supposedly, my brother said the roof's going to be done by the end of the month. I sent him a text this morning and say, the end of the month's in 3 days. So we'll see. I don't really care as long as he gets the roof on before we get any rain. That's my biggest concern. Hi, Ronan. How you doing, man? Who went to bed? Mitch. All right, Mitch. Take it easy. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, teacher, to say. I know that I did hear something though about the massive cases that they had in India. Oh, yawning. Been an hour and 20 minutes for a mic check. Pretty good, huh? All right, guys. I think I'm gonna. Well, now a couple people just came in. Thanks, Ronan. I appreciate it. We've been talking about a little bit of everything, actually. Kind of, hey, Bob, how you doing? Like I said, it was just supposed to be a mic check, and it took me 3 tries to keep from losing the live stream in the first minute and a half. And I figured it out. It was my cable going from here to the new camera, not new, but the one I found, the 1080 that I got on the top of my laptop right now. It's bad, and if I touch it, the picture goes away, and I lose connection and all sorts of stuff. I'm going to ask my wife. I was saying earlier, I'm going to ask my wife I'm only across my room, right on the other side of the wall behind me is the router. So I'm going to have her get enough cable to come up through the ceiling, drop on the other side, plug into it, and then plug straight into my laptop, and I won't have to worry about internet issues anymore, at least not on the laptop. But when we move into the new house, hopefully they'll have everything done correctly. I can do stay positive. Yeah, I don't know either. What the new variants, from what I heard originally, is that you could catch it easier or something, or it's easier to catch or something. I don't know. I think what it's going to come down to is it's going to be almost like a flu deal. Once they get done with it, everybody will get stuck, and then once every 6 months or once a year, they'll get a booster deal before like the flu season or whatever. And I think that's the way that it's going to go. Do I think it's ever going to go away? I don't think so. I think is the flu ever going to go away? I don't think so either. But, so once they get enough people stuck to where, they feel comfortable, then they can start doing the boosters, and travel will pick up and everything will open up. I was really optimistic before this happened to be able to go back in October to the U.S. and see my family, but now I'm thinking more towards January, which kind of sucks. I know it does for teacher too. I know he wants to get back and see. I was watching one of his videos, and he has a grandson, I believe, right, teacher, that you haven't seen except on FaceTime. I have a granddaughter, same way. I work in the healthcare. Killed over 30. Where are you at, Ronan? $563 crippled. I don't know. When it first came on, I was basically thought I was maybe the first. Said was, if you were, we didn't even know about it then. Everybody in the hospital, including me, would have been infected. And I go, I didn't think about it that way. So I just had pneumonia and heart problems and stuff like that. But if I remember right, they kept on harping on this and this, and I kept on watching the numbers go. I go, man, they're almost up to a 99% success rate in treating this. I mean, that's unbelievable. And then I watched the cases slowly come down. But that was when the Thai government locked everything down, and I told everybody back in the United States, hey, Rangset, how are you? They told me you're better off staying where you're at, which I agreed with, and they did that, and they're going, well, why? How are they keeping the people? I said, because they'll go to jail for 2 years if you're caught leaving your providence. That's why that they're not messing around with anybody, and I think they did the right thing. And I think, as far as I know, Thailand's got to be in the top, 1 or 2 of the way that they contained everything. They did the best, I think, out of anybody. So, I think Mitch left. Ranks that. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Some of this stuff can get you a little bit nervous. Glad to hear it. It's the UK variant. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I don't know. It's supposed to be a little bit more dangerous or have more death rate or something. I don't know. But like I said, I watched Thailand just, for that whole time up until, a month ago, it was like 92 people had passed away in over a year, and I don't know how many cases they had, but they didn't have that many cases either. So I don't know. I look at the United States and the numbers that they have, and I hate to say it, I just have a hard time believing them. Like I said, no one died in the United States of old age since this crap started. What do you think about that? Oh, well, this one died of COVID. Well, how old was she? Oh, she was 116 and she couldn't breathe, but she got COVID and she died. It's like, yeah, bullshit. So see what it's the UK variant. Once the vaccine came in, it just stopped. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my wife, she doesn't even want me going to the house. She doesn't like the fact that I, got up this morning and jumped in the truck at 8:00 and drove over to the house to check on everybody, make sure what was going on and who was working. She doesn't want me to go out, but I look at her and go, man, you're awful hypocritical. All you got to do is go out. You're going out every morning and dealing with people that are, walking around, going out, coming in, and she does. She wears her mask sitting at the desk. She does not take the mask off, but she could, like I said, if she brings it home, her 75-year-old father, or 65-year-old mother, me, 2 children, I mean, it could be a nightmare. Yeah, so, it could be too. I've heard a lot of people, Bill, talking about the stuff that the Thai people eat, just completely. They have the strongest immune system in the universe, but and could be. I don't know. All I know is that sure seems like a very low percentage for the millions of people that are here in Thailand. Like I said, I think that many people die every 10 seconds riding a scooter in Bangkok. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to try to understand what exactly is happening. But like I said, my wife, she don't want me going nowhere. And tell you the truth, when I drive over there, if I don't have to get out of the truck, if I see everything and everything's going good, I just stay 10 minutes, leave the truck running, air conditioner on, look on the internet a little bit, and then come back here, which is what I did this morning, because the builder was changing crews, getting ready to do the roof and start the block work and all that kind of stuff. And the other cousin was finishing up the left side fence. I don't know what I'm going to have them do after that. I got to talk to my wife when she comes home today, and not being able to speak Thai is a big hindrance in the house building deal, because he just gives me that stare, like, and she goes, "You understand the stare, don't you?" I go, "Yes, I do." She goes, start let me start talking to you in Thai and see if you understand. I said, "No, honey, I absolutely understand. I just said I need him to understand, so I need you to translate." And she is okay in English, but not like an interpreter. But it's hard to find out. He just gives me that far away stare. But he's done a fantastic job, I think, and I will be done with the three sides. But I think I've got, what do I got? 26 meters, and 15 meters. So I've got the two sides done. And after I buy all the slats, I think that I'm going to be at like 120,000 baht, maybe less. And all I have is the front to do. And I think when I tried to figure it out, it was like 250,000 for the fence when I asked a couple of people, and they gave me like, meter prices and this and that, and if the ground isn't too hard, and if this and if that. But I think it's very cheap, and he's doing a great job. Great job. Firsthand. Okay. I got a bunch of people in my family are RNs, and one's in Colorado, two are in California, and thank God they've been okay. So almost 30K currently under some kind of care. 30,000 where? Here, teacher, here in Thailand? Because when I looked at it, there were only, what did they say? On ventilators, 500? I don't know. You probably know better. You read a lot. I don't read too much. I don't want to scare myself too much. You had it. Yeah, I know you did, huh, Joe? For 3 days. Yeah. When I had that tube down my mouth for 2 months, and then thought about getting it after. I mean, the biggest, when I was growing up, I was in a bunch of life-threatening situations, and the biggest ones that really bothered me weren't guns, were knives, razors, and being burnt and being drowned. And if you've ever not been able to breathe, it's basically the same thing as drowning. And I had that twice or three times happen to me, and it is not fun. Talk about, you think you're going to die. There's no doubt you think you're going to die. I watched my one, before they figured out that I was getting a bunch of water on my lungs. After they pulled it out the first time, I went into a private room. They didn't restrict any fluids or anything, and I drank a bunch, and a day and a half later, I was on my side, rolled on my side while they were washing me or something, and I started getting short of breath, and I pushed them off, and they rolled me back over, sat me up a little bit, and I kept saying, now they put the thing in my mouth that had like the made the moisture, so you could try to breathe now, and right to my side, I could watch my oxygen on that blood pressure machine go from 98. I think the last number I saw was like 42, and then I passed out. And there's nothing scarier. And then they don't put the tube in when you're in the room, so they rolled you out. I woke up like half the way, and I was in an elevator. They take you up to ICU, and then a doctor puts the tube in ICU. So needless to say, it was scaring the crap out of me, that I might get it, and it would probably kill me if I did. But yeah, I think it's all common sense too, Ronan. Yeah, but are the hospitals even close to being full? Maybe I'm getting false information because I didn't see it being that dire in Thailand. But you probably know better than me, teacher. Like I said, I don't. They had 2,000 new cases, 25,000 active cases under treatment, and are the 563? Is that the ones on ventilators? And before, like out of 563 that were on ventilators in the last deal, 99.5% recovered. So, I understand if they don't have hospital beds. I understand if they run out of ventilators, stuff like that. But like I said, what they're telling me, if you are out on your motorcycle right now and they test you and they want to swab you and they swab you, they're going to take you to a field hospital where there's no air conditioning, no nothing, until you get severe enough to where they take you to a hospital. That's my understanding. I don't know if it's true, but I know that the field hospitals are true because my wife's company just went and put internet in one of them close to here in Surin. Yes, in Thailand. The hospitals are full in Thailand. Maybe I'm not reading this right. I'm getting confused. New variant came in like whirlwind. It was very lucky I had many close contacts. Yeah, you are lucky. My family too that are RNs are lucky too. All right. So Bangkok hospitals are near maximum capacity. Yes. Okay. Because like the private hospital that I was in when I was sick, if you came in, like my wife would come to see me, or let's say you didn't feel good, you came in and you had a temperature, they wouldn't even let you in the hospital. You went to the government hospital. They would not let anybody into that hospital that had a temperature. They would send them to the government hospital. Now, I don't know if they're doing the same thing right now, but I can almost bet you they are. The hospitals in Bangkok, I don't know, maybe it's different in Bangkok. Maybe they don't have field hospitals. I don't know, but I know they got to have more beds than 25,000, I would think. I don't know because I don't know what they have, but I would think they have to have more beds than that. And the ones, from my understanding, is the ones that they're only going to take to the hospital, at least here in Surin, are going to be the critical ones, or the ones that can't breathe, need to go on a ventilator. They will take them to the hospital. Otherwise, they're going to stay in the field hospital until they get bad enough or they recover, which I would just die because there's no way that I could go without air conditioning. I would just freak out. So I guess I would either pass out or they'd put a tube in and they'd ship me off somewhere, or I'd get lucky and my doctor would find out and he really cares about me. God knows why, but he's a great man. He would come and get me. 90%. Okay. That's the way. Yeah, I bet. I know there was a lot of people that were that did get it, doctors and such. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'd be curious to find out how many beds they have in Bangkok. Are they using field hospitals or not? But I would think that if they have the whatever it was, 563, I would imagine if they were critical, they were on a ventilator. And that's just a guess. Now, is that 2,048 is less than yesterday? Is that right? Or I heard that the numbers are getting not a lot less, but a little bit less. Near Mag. Cases, 59,000. Deaths, 163. That total death, Joe? Does that include the 95 from the prior waves? Recovered 33,000. And then they still have 20 or 30,000 that are still being treated. So I don't know. I mean, the numbers look like they're going to be the same. If you take the 100 off of if the 163 is from the beginning of the first deal over a year ago, then you would take 90 off of that. It would probably be not even half at 180 or 90, 200. So I don't know. How do you feel now, Joe? You feel okay? And did you get the vaccine, or are you planning on getting it here? I still haven't asked my doctor. Some people are telling me that I can. It's going to cost 5,000 baht. Some people say no, you got to wait. I just got to ask my doctor. My doctor likes me, so maybe I'll get it. Let's see. I remember Thailand's testing and reporting is not. Yeah. I don't know if they are or not. All I know is that they've got to be pretty much up to date before this hit, with 96 people in a year that died, and a 99.5% recovery rate. I don't know if there's any other country that has those numbers. I know that the United States, the way I look at them, there's like a million people die in a day or something, according to them. But I don't know. Like I said, I see what I want. I don't want to get it. I really don't. I'll tell you what, man. The thoughts of having a tube down my throat again make me cringe. I mean, it was probably the worst 3 months of my life was when I was in that hospital. And I guess I shouldn't complain too much, because I was 63 years old. So out of 63 years, that was the worst that had happened to me. Maybe I ought to be grateful. I don't know. This is weekly. Yeah. I would think that sounds about right. Trying to get the day before I go. Okay. So you're planning on going back to the States? You're not retiring here. I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't seen you on some other channels every once in a while. I know Mike's isn't doing a bunch of live streams, and I know that Bangkok Strange, I asked him on his channel, Dana, and he said they're gonna relax for a while till all this crap is over. He doesn't want a bunch of people coming in and out, and he didn't think it had the right electricity without them both being together in the studio. So I hadn't really heard from you that much. But I don't know. I'm hoping that they I hate to say it, I hope they lock down. Because like I said, they're tough. I know that, when they lock down and you get caught leaving your providence, you're going to jail. There's no if, ands, or but, or appeals or whatever. If I try to leave the providence, I'm going to jail. And if they can last the 14 days, the cases should go away. I don't know how many people they're letting into the country. I think that they're still are they doing 7-day queues? I heard they are, but maybe they'll, stop that and put it back to 14. I hate to say that to people that are going through it, but, they need to have a 14-day nothing, and put a stop to it. Like I said before, Thailand, I listened to most of the, the other countries in the United States and Australia and all these places. And man, we were wide open. I bought an Air Asia pass, and I was going to fly here and fly there and here and there and there, go all over. And up until, what has it been, 3 weeks ago or so, it was pretty much wide open in Thailand. It wasn't a better time to be here, wasn't a better time to visit and, tourist yourself around the country. You couldn't do it any cheaper. And then wham, with this variant, and I understand that, and I heard that it was a quicker acting, faster moving deal. But once you close down, lock down for the 14 days, and you make it a serious lockdown, I think it goes away like it did last time, until some people want to cross the border and and do crazy crap like that, and then you got trouble. Okay, 7 days. All right. All right. So basically, then it's 14 days queue if you're just coming in, and it's half that if you've gotten stuck. Is that my understanding? Because I don't follow that. Maybe I ought to follow it most, because people watch me and probably want to know the guy. He lives in Thailand. He should know what the hell's going on. It says minimum of 7 days, so no problem for them to bring it. It's okay. Yeah, I hate to say it, but it needs to be 14 days, I think, because if I remember right, some of the stuff, a couple of the people didn't show up with any symptoms till like day 12 or 13 or something like that. So I think to make sure, I think they need to move that, do a 14-day, and then start opening it up again inside of Thailand. That doesn't help the people in Pattaya and in Bangkok, and the people that are really they really need the tourism to survive. And I feel for the Thai people. I really do. I mean, anything that I can do when I stop on the side of the road and somebody's down there trying to get fish to feed their family, and I got an extra 100 baht in my pocket, I walk over and give it to them. If they're picking grass to God knows what they sell it for, nothing, 5 baht or something for somebody to feed their cattle, I try to give them money and try to do what I can. I'd like to do more, but now not being able to come in contact with people makes that even tough to do, and because like I said, the Thai people are just some of the best people I've ever met, that never had any trouble. They're always smiling. I mean, they got this shit coming down. They got 10 baht in their pocket and just enough rice to make it through the day, and hoping they can make enough money today to get another 10 baht and get some rice tomorrow, and got smiles from ear to ear. Just happy to be alive. And I don't know, gotta love Thailand, right? I mean, that's how it all came about. You gotta love this place. Like I said, and I put into my videos now, is that I feel honored and privileged to be able to live here. The Thai people have grabbed my heart, and my heart is not an easy one to grab. But I will do anything for the Thai people. But hopefully, it's different. I don't know how it is. I know that teacher, if he's still here, I don't know if he's here or not. He was having a lot of Thai people coming in and eating and stuff like that. Here in Surin, it didn't affect us that much. I said this before. It did affect some. I'm not the one being affected, but they don't depend on tourism. They depend on the Thai people coming to their little market on the side of the road and buying chicken or corn or whatever it is. But I would say they depend 90% on the people that live in Surin. So it's a little bit different than if you're in Pattaya and you're going now you get hit again. Your business has been closed down. I mean, it's got to be a nightmare. Got to be an absolute nightmare. But hopefully we can get through everything. It would be nice. I think it will. I mean, I'm sure it will. How far from Bangkok is it? It is about 6 hours. At Surin, I'm about a 6-hour drive from here to Bangkok. It's about the same as going around the other way down to a teacher, somewhere between 6 and 7 hours, depending on how you drive. I don't speed. I just cruise along. Good. I'll hope I can meet you, Ronan. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. Like I said before, if you're retiring, and even if you've been to Thailand a couple of times, but not for a long, couple of months, 3 months to see if you like it, and you're going to retire anyway, come to Thailand, man. I guarantee if you get a 3-month or a 6-month long-term deal to really check it out and see what it is, there's nothing not to like, unless you can't handle the weather, and that's going to be that way pretty much throughout all of Southeast Asia. It was that way when I was in Costa Rica, except on the other side of the world. Humidity, high temperatures. But once you get past that, I come inside and turn on the air conditioner. Go to a bar, have a beer. But if you're already going to do it, what's the difference does it make if you come here for 6 months and say, I'm going to go try Panama, or I'm going to go try Vietnam, or I'm going to go try, I would start in Thailand. I just love the country and the people. I fell in love with the people. They'll all bend over backwards for you. It's just amazing. All right, what a teacher. I just always positive and hoping for the best. 27 daily notes in India today. In March, one desperate day. Very nearby. Yeah, I guess as long as they're not here. Yeah, I'd like to meet you. I'd like to meet everybody that's on the channel, and hopefully I will be lucky enough to live long enough to get to be able to. I'm still here. However, most regular customers are currently stay at home. Yeah, 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 and I don't blame them, teacher. You know, I mean, it's a scary situation. Um, Not so much, I think, if you're. For me, it's a little bit more because I'm 64 years old and my breathing ain't the greatest in the world, and stuff like that. But they still, I don't blame them. I just hope that, like I said, I think I hate to say it, the quickest and most, the least amount of pain is to lock it down for 14 days, and then slowly come out of it like they did last time, and hope that the businesses can hang on. I think you're in good shape. You knew exactly what you were getting into, which is better than most. You at least knew that there was going to be something. Maybe you didn't expect exactly what had happened, but you knew that there was going to be some problems, which helps, I think. Heavy rain in Bangkok now. My wife is tired. Good, good, cool. Where are you going to, Rona? Did you already tell me? You got to remember, I'm going senile. We're in Thailand. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I think so. And where are you? Are you in Australia? SURIN. Yeah. I'm always smiling, teacher. I mean, like I say, first off, I thought I'd be dead by 30, 35. So I'm 64, so I'm smiling. I thought when my wife was gone, my life was over, and never even imagined that I would meet my Thai wife and have a Thai family and be as happy as I am now. So I'm smiling. And even if something happens to me and I die, it'll probably still be a smile on my face because I'll be in Thailand. Chiang Rai, okay. Ireland, okay. Cool. I've never been. I was hoping to. My wife has not been there either, and Chiang Rai. So that I bought us both that Air Asia pass, and we were going to fly, take like a four day extended weekend, and fly to Bangkok, and then take a flight from Bangkok to Chiang Rai and check it out because I've never been there. But that's cool. Cool. Yeah, thank God you can come here and spend and stay. That's nice. All right, teacher. You have a good day. All right, TT. Oh, Chumpan. Okay. I went there on my last year's Asia pass, Chumpan, and then I liked it there. It was nice, quiet. Uh, it was great. I liked it. All right, guys. It's been an hour and 50 minutes for my for my mic test. I want to thank everybody again. I'm at like 302, I think, or 303 subscribers. So I want to thank everybody for that. And then I want to, it gives me joy to do this stuff. I love rapping with you guys. I feel like you're all friends, and we always have a good time when we're on. You make me feel comfortable. I hope I give some good information sometimes, but I really enjoy it now. I never thought that I would because, like I said, I don't like looking at myself. I don't like hearing myself talk, and you'd never know it because I just ramble on about stuff. And I never used to be like that. I was always tight-lipped. But all right, I'm going to cut it. Look at that, 10 thumbs up, 8 people. It's been an hour and 50 minutes. You bet. Yeah, I'll probably put out a building one within the next couple of days. Hopefully when they start putting the roof on and when he's gotten a day or two on the wall. But all righty, guys. You have a good day, and I will catch you on the next live stream or the next video, which will probably be the video. I will definitely do an update on the house. You all have a good day. Thanks for coming. Thanks for subscribing. Take it easy, Grinch.